Hello and welcome again to Forgotten Temples, Cambodia. And today I'm at Phou. Now if I just said that, Phou, and you thought of this,
Don't push too far, your dreams are China in your hand.
then you are a kid of the 80s. Well done. The 80s, a time where, well, people weren't continuously staring at the phones. A time when you could touch and kiss one another. A time when we didn't get preened orange monkeys, put them in suits and call them presidents. It was an innocent time and it was a great time to be alive. So, China in my hands, this temple could well be. But it isn't. It is wholly unique. I've never seen a temple like it, and I love it when that happens. Around me is fantastic countryside. I've had to walk across dried rice fields to get here, and it is so peaceful and lovely, and it was a gem to see. Now, this is pretty much the most of it, but allow me to show you what they did. The ancients, they took a natural thing that was here on the landscape and sculpted their temple to it. And it literally is in the middle of nowhere. So take my hand, this will be a short trip around a foreign land to see an ancient thing that I promise you, you would never otherwise see. But it is well worth seeing. So come with me. And there's our wall where we started, and at its feet here, can you see this? This is a giant plinth, and in the centre there is a hole now filled with mud, and up here would have been a mighty statue. But it's not the statue we've come to see. Well, there's no point. It's fled underneath the arms of a thief, the little bugger. It is this. Have a look. One swift movement and I unveil. Look. This is the temple, and it's built in, slotted in to this almighty big rock. And it was such a surprise to see when I came round the corner, because it is so different. I've never seen one of these. The other thing I noticed strangely is this is perfect snake country. I mean, absolutely 100% Snakesville, because we have these stones that they can bask in the mornings to get themselves nice and warm, get their systems going, and they have in here to retreat and the dark and the cooler area, and this long grass which I went tramping through and then thought, not the best of moves. But what a beautiful surprise it is to see this temple. It is really absolutely outstanding. So let us stand back for a moment and get this all into some sort of perspective. This would have been the entranceway, the way in. Here we see a bit of a doorway. There's more over to my right, and going over these large bits of masonry, this would have been the entranceway. Our opening shot was shot here, and that of course is the right flanking wall, and we still have some on the left. They've done very well, those walls, and this would be the way in. Now I have to skirt round to the right because there's a bally big hole for reasons I don't know, and this would have been the temple itself. Now, isn't it lovely? Now, this is why I have to be careful with snakes. So I'm going to bounce up and down a couple of times. There we go, to release some vibrations and let them know I'm coming. Believe me, snakes want nothing to do with us. They'll only go for you if you surprise them. And here it is. Now, how Neolithic does this look? It's absolutely amazing, isn't it? I've never seen anything like it, but it has suffered from the jolly old subsidence because it's wonking that way. But it's still remarkable that after all this time, this wall that doesn't have cement or anything fancy like that is still standing. It is really, really solid. I mean, look at the width of it. This is a proper mighty wall. And as we go round to the side, we get a whole load of crunch. Hear that, people? That's what you need in your lives, as I keep preaching. I've become quite the preacher of crunch, haven't I? Yes, I have. And it's just, get your damn crunch. Honestly, get out there. It's better than, I used to be on antidepressants. I don't take them anymore. I take crunch, and I mean that. That is a bit of, I don't know, sounds comical, but it's true. I've given up the antidepressants and got out and about. Sometimes I really don't feel like it, but that's when you need it. Less of crunch, more of this. Look at this. See that? That's probably where the subsidence came from. Is this has moved, then this, the man-made structure has moved. I feel that is what's happened, because we can see a lean on this. And do you know what really surprises me as I dash around here is there is no writing. We've got this enormous rock that's been here since, well, the beginning of time for all we know, and there's no writing on it. Look. Is completely devoid of Paolo loves cutie pie or something like that. I mean, there is just absolutely Ben loves Ben or something. I mean, it's just not there. And somebody says, oh, I thought Ben was a bit funny. Leave it out, it's not the 70s. Do you know what I mean? But I find it absolutely bizarre. There's not a jot of graffiti. The youth of today, they don't have that creativeness. The kids of the 80s, we would have been scrawling love messages all over this, wouldn't we? But maybe it's the mobile phones. That's why they don't do it anymore. So that was to Pole. And he's exceptional. He's a tiny little thing that didn't take us long, but he's well worth going in the books. This is normally, well, when it rains, it's all rice fields, but it is parched, and it is beautiful because there's more of these monolithic rocks over here and over here and over here, and I'm about to get on my bike and lump and bump about and go and visit them and see what else I can find. The sun is getting low in the west. I don't have much time left on the day. But it has been another wondrous day, and thank you very much for joining me. I really mean it. And if you have any comments, then please do let me know. It is a lonely business, and your feedback is much appreciated. So until next time, I wish you absolutely nothing but the very best. Take good care.